Hey, what's up everyone, Jeremy here, and we are continuing the second part of our links tutorial. And as I mentioned in the last tutorial, I'm going to show you how to actually style a link. So if you wanted to change the color or something, if you haven't watched the first episode on links, I'd watch that one first. But to do these changes, we're going to need a special piece of code. So the piece of code that you would need would be one of those style tags that I showed you earlier, which looks something like this. So if you wanted to change the style on a link, for instance, there are many different methods that you could use. As I mentioned, you could actually just add a style inside of here. So our anchor right here is linking to Google. And if we wanted to add a style attribute, we could then put our styles inside of here. But I don't want to do it like that because I want to keep everything real clean and everything easier to read over here. So let's just do it a different way, and we already went over this method anyways. So instead of doing that, I can actually target this link outside of this using a piece of code, and this will require us learning a couple quick things. So for one, I mentioned in the beginning there are a couple of basic tags that you're going to be needing, such as HTML, and these are the outermost tags that you have in this document, besides the declaration up here, and the body, and then you have all these smaller tags, but these are the framework that are going to be inside of any HTML document. So what we're going to do is add in one more tag that is similar to both the HTML and body tag, and this one's known as the head tag. So the head tag is used for elements that typically help browsers and search engines understand and make sense of the site, as well as help your site run in general. So in between these two tags, we could add scripts, we could add the title to our website, we could add many different things. What we are going to do is add in a style sheet, a cascading style sheet, CSS, and this is going to pretty much target this link and tell it to do certain things. So let me show you this little bit of code that we are going to need to style this. It starts off with style media equals screen, and the alternative to this value, screen, is print, and that's used for printing things, obviously, but we are not using that. So media screen, and then we have to add in type equals text slash CSS. Then all we would need to do is close this tag, and in between these 2 points, we would put our code. And this code is unlike all the code that we've been using, such as these tags and, everything else. All this is HTML. When you need to style a website, you're going to need to use CSS. So you have this that you can put your code inside, your CSS. What do you do now? This is actually a lot simpler than you might think, but I'm going to walk you through it step by step. First, I'm going to have to give you a run through on how you can style a link in itself. And let's get back to our page we have here. So as I mentioned before, links are a tad bit more complex as opposed to other tags that we've been using. They're also pretty neat though, in their own way. So I'm going to run through a few things that they're able to do and the things that you can take advantage of that you're not able to with standard text or something. There's 4 different states that you need to be aware of when it comes to how you can set up a link. And so right now when we're looking at it, I can tell you that the state of this has a text decoration of underlined, and then the color of it is this darker blue. Now the second is when you visit a website. So after we've already clicked here, and then, we go back and we can even refresh it really quick, but it should change a color. Most change to a standard purple kind of offset color. This one is not, but that is another attribute that you are allowed to customize. The third is, again, when you hover it, something can happen. And the fourth is when you click it, as I already mentioned. So there are only 2 out of the 4 link states that are active right now on this particular link by default. And that's going to be the link state as well as the active state. Now, active is the 4th link state, and that's when you're clicking on it. So now we're kind of moving more into the styling of your website through CSS, cascading style sheets, And this CSS can actually be embedded into an HTML file and styled directly from there, which will be the example I will be showing you. So let's say I want the text to be orange when hovered, but green when it's in its link state. I would need to target the link attribute and the hover attribute. So to do this, we would need to allow for the CSS code to be included, and we would then lay out any properties that we would want to change in between these two tags. So what did we say? We wanted it orange when we hovered, and when it's a regular link, we want it to be yellow. So when you're styling something, you'd pretty much put whatever you're trying to target in front of these brackets, and then you would put whatever you're trying to do to this in here. So for instance, the link, we were just trying to change the color to yellow. And again, the link is what it is, regular, when it hasn't been visited or anything. Then we would simply end this with a semicolon. And this pretty much says, okay, end this statement and move on if you want, and say whatever afterward if you want. But we're not going to right now. And the next property we are trying to affect is the hover. And that is exactly how we would write that down. And this color we were trying to do orange. So what this should do, ending with a semicolon again, what this should do is give us a link that is yellow, but when we go over it like that, instead of turning to a darker blue, I'm not sure if you can see that, but it'll turn to an orange. So let's go into run. And yellow was just the perfect example to show you with, but oh well, I'm sure you can see this kind of anyways. So yes, it's yellow regular, and then when you scroll over it, it's orange. Let me give you a quick little update to show you a little bit clearer. Green. I know that'll show up on a white background. And alright, so anyways, so we made those changes, and all we had to do was have this little bit of code. But let's say if we didn't like how it has the underline, we could change that with the text decoration feature, or text decoration attribute, and exactly spelled out just like that. We can apply none, and what this is going to do, we'll just copy and paste this right here as well. What this is going to do is take away that line for us, and as you can see, there's no line. There you go, just another change that you can do. So let me go over this a little bit more, because I feel I brushed past it kind of quick, because I wanted to show you what it can do. But with styling links, or styling anything for that matter, you are applying the name or the identifier of any element that you were trying to style. So in this case, we are trying to style the A element, the anchor element, which is a link, as we already mentioned. Now, while we're styling this, we're not just trying to style the link in general, because if we did that, then we wouldn't get these specific changes. It would just happen all across the board. So this separator in between the anchor and the name of the attribute that you're trying to affect is pretty specific to anchors. You're not going to be using them really outside of them. You really only actively use them for anchors. And these names are specific to anchors. So you're only going to use these names with this. So this is probably one of the more confusing tags that you're going to learn, and I wanted you to learn it now before we get into styling other things, because I think it's going to be a lot easier learning this way. So that said, I think that'll do it for links. I really don't even know what the next tutorial is going to be about. There's a few different things that I wanted to cover, and it's kind of getting late, as you can see. So I'm gonna call it. But yeah, well, anyways, thanks guys for watching, and please subscribe. Leave a comment or questions down below about links, since this is the last video I'm going to be doing specifically on it right now. I'll do some other stuff that'll involve it, of course, but just leave a comment down below. Same for questions, and I'll see you in the next video.